The best martial art is Judo. Oh wait, I did this wrong. See, I'm supposed to do this thing where I go like, and the best martial art is... And then they're supposed to cut to some like weird stupid sequence, and then I make you sit and wait for 10 minutes before I tell you Judo. But I'll back this up, so stay with me, and we'll make sense of this in just a second. I don't play that stupid YouTube game of dragging it out for 10 minutes. If you don't want to hear why Judo is the best martial art, you can turn the video off now, or you can listen for 10 minutes, or whatever it takes me, 20 minutes, half an hour, 5 minutes, who knows. I will tell you why Judo is the best martial art in just one step at a time here. So, here's the deal. First and foremost, I know a lot of you out there are going, oh no, it's BJJ. And I won't disagree with you other than the fact that I'll point out to you that BJJ kind of came from Judo. In fact, if you know anything about Kimura, you can go ahead and look that one up. Who won that battle, right? Yeah. So, this is very important, and I want people to understand why Judo is so important. Judo teaches you how to fall. Okay? I can't think of anything more important, actually. It's great. Oh man, you can punch your hand through a board, and someone has some amazing roundhouse kick, and this guy over here is a Muay Thai fighter, and he's got these unbelievable shins that can kick through a tree, and okay, sure, that's fine. And BJJ is cool, right? Because most fights go to the ground. Okay, yeah, sure, okay. Judo teaches you how to fall. What do we know about falls? One of the most dangerous things in your house is falls. I mean, people fall down the stairs. People fall off of ladders. People fall on ice. I live in Duluth, Minnesota. Everything's covered in ice. I slip and fall on a regular basis. Oh, wait a minute. That sounds really dangerous. It is. You can slip and fall on ice. What do we know about, elderly people, right? They fall, they break their hip, and they die. They die because they end up in a hospital with a broken hip. And then they develop pneumonia because they're bedridden. Judo teaches you how to fall. You learn how to fall correctly. And the thing is, it's like, even if you want to say, oh, BJJ, that's fine. There's still going to be takedowns. Someone's going to take you and they're going to knock you down. They're going to throw you to the ground. Judo teaches you how to fall. And I really feel like that's a skill that it's so applicable to like literally everything in your life. I don't care if you play football. You have to learn how to fall properly. You play hockey. You have to learn how to fall properly. You slip on ice. Guess what? If you stick your arm out and try to stop yourself, you'll probably break your arm. But if you know how to fall properly, you'll probably minimize the damage. I'm not saying you still can't get injured. You certainly can still get injured. I mean, people get injured in Judo too. This isn't like some magical thing where like, well, if you just learn Judo, you'll never get hurt by falling. No, you can fall. Everyone can fall. And you can catch the edge of a curb or something like that. Like, this doesn't mean, like, it's nothing like falling on a mat, right? But if you're walking on a flat sidewalk and you slip and fall because it's icy, and you know how to fall correctly, and you don't stick your arm out and try to catch yourself, and you kind of like roll through the fall, yeah, you'll actually get up and be like, oh, I'm totally fine. So I think Judo is genuinely like the best thing you can learn because it teaches you how to not get hurt. Don't get me wrong. If someone punches you in the face, like, you're getting punched in the face. I mean, that's going to hurt and it's going to do damage. But there's not a way for you to learn to not get hurt by getting punched in the face. Like, I can't teach you enough boxing where you're like, oh yeah, my face is really calloused and you can hit me as hard as you want and it won't hurt. Nah. But you can learn how to fall properly. And the other thing to this too, and I try to remind this to people all the time, is that actually, if in a real world situation, you do not want to be on the ground. I realize it happens, but that is not where you want to be. So if you actually needed to use a martial art, one of the best things you could have is Judo. Because you learn takedown defense. So you learn to not get thrown to the ground. You learn to stay on your feet. And then you learn how to toss the other person onto their ass. And if you can toss the other guy, you can run away. You win 100% of fights that you can run away from in the real world. Because you never know if someone's going to pull a knife. Or a gun. Or one of his friends shows up. There's a real danger to you. Oh yeah, I got all this BJJ skill. I'm gonna mount and I'm gonna I don't know, submit him or whatever. He's gonna get ground pound or whatever. Yeah, until his friend shows up and then kicks you in the face. because you're on the ground on all fours. Like that doesn't, or some good Samaritan, right? Some person who observes this thing thinks that you're the aggressor, and that person runs up and bashes you over the head with a beer bottle. So you have to keep in mind that like things don't work the same way in sport as they do in the real world. And so I really think that judo is the best thing you can possibly learn. I think between the fact that you learn how to fall properly, you learn how to maintain your balance, you learn how to not fall. Like you have to be very good at not falling, oddly enough, to be good at judo. Because if you fall down easily, then you're going to have a hard time winning in judo, because you need to stay on your feet. You need to make sure you stay on your feet and the other guy goes down. So you learn balance, and you learn how to use your body weight. You learn to use momentum, right? That bigger opponent, you can use his size against him. One of my favorite techniques is I push the other guy away from me, and that way he pushes back into me, and that's my opportunity to throw. Depending on how he's standing, that's how I determine which throw I'm going to use. But the concept of it is that basically if I push into you, I know that you're going to push back at me. And when I'm anticipating you pushing back at me, I'm actually not going to continue pushing. I'm going to relent and let you push me back, and then I'm going to make a move so that I use your momentum and your size against you to throw you. Because most of the time, most people that I come up against are, even if they're in the same weight class as me, it doesn't matter. They're usually stronger than I am. So like I'm not going to win a shoving match. Like I'm not going to win something where I just try to outmuscle you. And so I think that that's a real benefit to judo. I think that judo teaches you how to use your body weight and your size effectively, and at the same time you learn to keep your balance, and then you also learn how to fall properly. And like I said, in a real world situation, you don't want to end up on the ground. You don't, because if you get tossed to the ground, you can land on something. Like I said, someone could show up. If you end up on the ground, even if you have the guy's back and you're like, oh, I'm going to do a rear naked choke, dude, you have no idea what other people might be observing. They might think that you're the aggressor because you're winning. You don't know what's going to happen. And then on top of that, like imagine if you're in a bar or something like that. Like you could land on, like a beer bottle, or you could land on like the back of a chair and catch your neck some way, and like you don't want that. You don't want that to happen. So like you want to stay on your feet in the real world. Definitely want to stay on your feet in the real world. And so as much as I love striking, and I do, I love boxing, and I love Muay Thai, and Taekwondo is the first martial art I ever learned. I was like 9 years old when I first started taking Taekwondo. I love those things. But the reality of it is that I realized later on, when I started taking Judo, this is something that has a lot of skill to it that I can actually use and apply in other situations. And like I said, that ability to fall without getting injured is so unbelievably undervalued. It really is. Especially if you play contact sports. I played hockey. Knowing how to fall properly makes a huge difference. It really does. Like you take an open ice hit, and if you fall poorly, you end up with a hip pointer, or you could end up on like your shoulder dislocation, like landing on your elbow. Guys will hit their head off the ice. And that still happens even if you know how to fall properly, because sometimes you get hit and you never saw the hit coming. But when you see the hit coming, you can prepare yourself for it, and you can fall properly so you don't smack the back of your head off the ice. And I would encourage everyone out there. I know BJJ is the new hot thing and everyone loves it, and I love it too. But I would encourage you to learn some Judo. I'm not telling you do Judo instead of BJJ. I'm telling you you should learn some Judo in addition. And in that fact, actually, if you learn some Judo, it'll really help your BJJ game, because you'll be so much better at takedowns and takedown defense. So there you guys have it. I didn't screw around with like 20 minutes of, I'm not going to tell you which one the best one is. It's whichever one that you'll do. That's the best. The best diet for you is the one you'll actually follow. No. The best martial art for you is Judo, because for all the reasons I already stated. So there you guys have it. There's my explanation on why. And like I said, if you have other martial arts you like, karate, taekwondo, whatever, learning some Judo will just make you that much better at it.